Hello, this is Brian Pash, and on today's podcast, I'm going to be talking about decisions that auto dealers make in regards to canceling current advertising partners. This podcast was inspired by an article that I wrote on LinkedIn on August 5th, 2017, entitled, "I'm Ready to Cancel X Advertising." I've been called into many conversations with business owners who are about to cancel an advertising service because they received poor performance or perceived that they had a poor performance from the investment. In some cases, under further examination, I agree with the business owner and I propose some alternatives on how they might spend those ad dollars. However, in many cases, what I've found is that the business was equally guilty of causing poor performance. What's one of the number one culprits? Well, poor mobile website design with slow page load times. Other causes you probably are aware of as well. Maybe poor merchandising on the website, inflated prices of vehicles, not using, say, tools like vAuto, low quality photos that are not really making your cars attractive or looking their best. Mishandled phone calls, using old tracking numbers on advertisements that ring to nowhere, or poor lead handling. How many times has a BDC said the leads from this vendor are horrible, and so they've already planted a negative connotation that that vendor's solution is going to fail. When business owners look into Google Analytics, they can see which percentage of their total traffic comes through on a mobile device. And that's why inspecting your mobile presence is so important. Here's an example from a franchise dealer I pulled up in VistaDash. They basically had 45% smartphones, 11% tablet, 44% desktop. So 56% of their total website traffic was from a mobile device. Your Google Analytics account will tell you exactly what your percentage is. So the question I have for you is, have you inspected the user experience of your website from a smartphone? Remember, recent Google research stated that if a page on a mobile device takes more than 3 seconds to load, the abandon rate of that page skyrockets. So pages that take 5, 7, or 10 seconds can see a 100 or 200% increase in abandon rate. Some of you would call that bounce rate. The great news is that within Google Analytics, you can determine the average page load times for your most popular pages. What I suggest that you do is create a segment in Google Analytics that only looks at mobile and tablet traffic. It's pretty easy to do. And then Google provides you in Analytics with a list of your most viewed pages and how fast they load. Now, this is an eye-opener. In the LinkedIn blog post, which you can also read, it mentions that for this dealer, the average page load time was 8 seconds. So it's more than twice what Google recommends. Some of the pages were faster. Some of the pages were slower. For this dealer, 8 seconds should not be an acceptable page load time for their top landing pages. So here's what I would recommend is take the time to make sure that your mobile website is truly delivering that content under 4 seconds. And more importantly, if the vendor solution you're considering canceling is sending a high percentage of mobile traffic, like for example, a Facebook advertising platform or lot links or others, well, then you can understand why maybe performance has taken a dive. Now, let me just mention a few other things in today's podcast. I do believe that looking at how your team handles leads that are generated from marketing investments is very important. But please don't get caught into the trap that leads represent the true and only source of influence. Meaning, it's very common for a vendor to be canceled because they didn't generate a lot of leads in the CRM, or the leads that were generated in the CRM didn't close well. Ladies and gentlemen listening to today's podcast, I'm working on a new book called Who Sold It? And I'm really tackling the challenges that businesses have in determining which marketing investments are helping them sell it, whatever the it is. For auto dealers, obviously it's vehicles and service and parts and accessories. Ladies and gentlemen, it's so critical that you don't use the CRM as your sole determination on whether your marketing investments are working. Google has something called multi-channel funnels, which will show you how consumers came to your website multiple times through different channels before they converted. So you may say, wow, AutoTrader only had a certain amount of leads, but you have no way of knowing how many consumers have been influenced by AutoTrader, came to the dealer's website directly or through a referral if you only look at the CRM reports. So before you cancel X advertising, would you please make sure that your mobile experience is awesome? Number 2, make sure that you have Google Analytics set up for multi-channel funnels to see not only the last click conversions, which what CRMs show, but also the number of assisted conversions that those marketing channels have influenced. And then at the upcoming Automotive Analytics and Attribution Summit in Boca Raton in November 2017, we're going to be addressing some advanced technologies that will help dealers find out who sold it from activities off their website and in the shopper's journey towards purchasing that new or used car. So I hope you found this podcast helpful. Please take the time to inspect your Google Analytics account and mark this channel to receive notifications on future podcasts.